I saw a guy. Are we starting?
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, we'll just get in. Hey, what's up? My name's Frank Castillo. Welcome to another episode of To Be Frank. I'm very excited for today's guest. Nice round of applause for Matt McCusker.
Thank you, Frank.
Dude, I'm so excited. Right off the bat, I love the hash pipe that you had on the pod, and that immediately I just fell in love. I was like, oh shit, you are a hash head. And I'm pretty big in the I don't want to be like I'm big in the stoner community, but I know a lot of like I love weed. Huge stoner. Know a lot of hash people, and they're all big comedy fans. So when they saw you pull that pipe out, they were like, no fucking way.
Yeah, it's a Sebzi, man. It's the Moroccan hash pipe.
Yeah, and have you smoked Moroccan hash?
I don't think so. I mean, everyone back in the day was like, yo, this is some straight up fucking Moroccan. Just like a ball of black tar. But no, I don't think I have, honestly. I've like got my hands on hash. I don't know where it was from.
Yeah. So now the big thing is there's guys in Morocco who are learning, who are like teaching people, or like people from California will go to Morocco and they'll learn how to make the hash making techniques, and they'll come back.
Like the bubble hash.
Like the bubble hash, old school bubble hash. And that's in California. It's such a solid market because there's like people in like the 60s or 70s, people who love that old school hash who like buy a bunch of it. And like,
that is my thing. I like the bubble hash the best.
Oh, okay.
It's just easier. You can sprinkle it in the joints. Yeah. When it's a goo, I'm always kind of like...
It's tough to work with, especially fresh press. That's why I like cold cure. It's like a little easier to work with.
Yeah, I had rosin press, or not rosin. Actually, I did have a rosin press. I gave it away. But I used to have a rosin press, and I had bubble bags.
Oh, yeah.
Because I came into trim a long time ago. I just like, through some whatever, someone was like, do you want some trim? And I was like, yes, sir. And I had just like trash bags of trim, and I would just sit down in my basement with a little ice bag and just hours.
Yeah.
I honestly think I gave myself a hemorrhoid doing that because you're like bent over. I had this like a little plexiglass thing that I would just shake the little trichomes, and you can kind of like take it. And if you heated it up a little bit, I put it in a sous vide, and I would like heat up the edges, and it would make what looked kind of like real bubble hash.
Yeah,
I kind of did like a cheat way where I heated the outside, so I got that like gooey ball.
Yeah, so there's so many different techs now. Like people are learning it and stuff. There's a guy named Uncle. He makes this thing called Uncle's Piatella. I think he's in Spain is where he's based out of. But he's the only one who knows how to make this specific kind of hash where people will hire him to come in to make Piatella drops. And then that's how they drop it in California and stuff. Yeah, but it's crazy to see what he does because he's the only one that knows the technique. It's kind of like Wagyu. People try to like imitate it and stuff, but it's like it's not the same.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's really fun. I wish because I think the traditional way is you just like sit there and just like beat a thing, and it's like, man, it is. I'd work so long and make the littlest turd of hash, and I'd be like so happy I made it.
It's a fun feeling though, right?
Yeah, because I'd have like the whatever, the like 10x microscope thing. I'd look for plant matter, and you try. It's just very fun.
Whoa, you're one of my favorite like comics that I like out of the
Thank you, man.
Group two of all you guys. One, because it feels like I can relate to you because it's also like you're a dude who loves his wife.
Yeah,
and that's something I don't find a lot in comedy. Like I talk a lot of jokes. I make jokes. I don't make jokes about my wife, but I make jokes about like myself.
Yeah.
Because it's like I always thought like comics who were like shitting on their wives on stage was always so weird to me.
I trash my wife pretty hard on stage. But I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah,
but I love her to death.
Yeah, it's like playful. You know what I mean? Like there's guys where you see where they trash their wives and you're like, oh, you might mean that.
Yeah, I mean I've hated my wife before. Like there's been periods where I've absolutely fucking hated her, but it's like that's kind of what it is. When you really are married and you're like I'm together with somebody forever.
Yeah,
That's what I try. I'm honoring that. I'm like, we go through periods where you just like, next to each other, you feel her leg hit yours, and you're like, get the fuck off me. We have that. We can really channel that deep hatred, but my dad put that in my head a long time ago. Because he would like, he did construction. He'd have guys out in the construction site, like for real, like bashing their wife.
Yeah.
Not trying to get laughs, not trying to fill an hour special. They were just for no reason.
Yeah.
Just being like this fucking bitch. And he was like, he told me when I was young, he's like, don't do that in public.
Yeah,
I never be out being like this fucking bitch. And he always said they were the most pussy whipped guys who would be out there like this fucking bitch. You let her, I dare her to fucking block. And he'd be like, dude, they're the hardest simps.
Yeah,
they're just releasing simp steam to be like fucking bitch.
Yeah,
but women are annoying. That's the thing. Don't get me wrong. I love my wife, but I hate women. No, I love women. I actually love women. I love women.
Yeah.
But when you live with one of them, you're like, when you zoom in on them, you're like, whoa, this is an absolute universe of total disorder and disarray.
Yeah.
So don't get me wrong, I'm totally red pill, dude, on women. Yeah. But I do love them. I do love my wife. I do. I dutifully love my wife forever. So I just want to clarify.
Oh no, absolutely. That's so funny. Like, I mean, I get it. There's things that like annoy me about my wife, but I know in our relationship, I'm the one that annoys her the fucking most.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's a good dynamic. Yeah, we annoy each other like massively. So
Absolutely.
it's just a total back and forth volley.
Yeah, but I'm like lucky in the sense because she's like a therapist, and like my parents, like when they fought, they were like talking shit to each other. Like it was like very like not good. So like whenever we like got into arguments or fought, I could never get to that because one, she would cry, and two, she was just like, dude, like what are you doing? Like I'll come back to this and we'll talk about it. But I'm like, now I feel shitty, and also like I feel like I can't. Like it made me have to be an adult. I guess is the way to say it.
I always wondered about that. Yeah, when you date a therapist, do they always feel like you feel like they have the mental upper hand, or is it like
no? There's like I always say to her is like she's very book smart, but when it comes to like street smarts, she's not street smart at all. Yeah. So like there's definitely the give and take, but she's cool in a sense where like she doesn't give me therapist her all the time, and like even unless I like ask, but most times she's just straight my wife.
I got you.
And then sometimes I'll be like, have you told me everything about me that I don't know? And she's like, nah, you're not ready.
Damn, she's Morpheusing you.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's kind of sick, though.
Yeah, it is.
So, but she won't get. See, me and my wife is not a therapist, so we can definitely get to that, like you're talking about. We can get to just like the screaming, like at the top of our lungs at each other.
Yeah.
And which that's happened when we were first together. We were just dating for a while, and then like we were looking for another apartment to live in. I'm like, let's just buy a fucking house. Like, fuck this apartment. We were in Philadelphia, so when we first like moved in, COVID happened pretty shortly after that. Not like right away, but pretty quickly after that. So we had to like do the COVID thing. We survived COVID, but we both had it at one point. I think it actually like inflamed your brain. I think COVID apparently inflames your brain. So there's like we both had it at one point. We had like a newborn, so we definitely like were spazzing on each other.
Oh yeah, but.
Yeah, I wish there was a governor on one of us to be like, hey, this is actually pretty toxic behavior. Let's take a step back and let's deep breathe right now.
Yeah, I mean that's the kind of the nice thing about therapy. Yeah, I mean, and I'm also like, my wife would probably be shitting on me right now, where she's like, you don't go to therapy.
Yeah,
she's like, you
don't have to. Your wife's there. What are you kidding me, dude? You absolutely don't have to.
Yeah, I definitely hold it like I don't have to people. I'm just like, dude, my wife's a therapist. I'm like, yeah, but you don't go to therapy. I'm like, whatever.
You don't have to.
Yeah.
Why would you do that? That'd be almost disrespectful to your wife.
That's hilarious. Well, you are the best at your job. If I go to another person, now I'm just kind of, I'm cucking my therapist. You know what I mean?
But you're right. You have to. I understand what you're saying. You maintain an outwardly like positive attitude towards marriage. When dudes are like, "It's over," it's like, dude, stop it.
Yeah,
you're fapping on a bed on the floor.
Yeah,
it's not over, dude. You need to do something. You know what I mean, guys? I think that's dying out, but dudes are like, bro, it's over now. You can't have sex with drunk ladies. It's like, dude, that shit. I used to be so much sadder when I was single.
Oh, absolutely.
Big time. Like it's, and it is sick. It is fun just never having anyone like bothering you about stuff.
Of course.
But I would cry a lot more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the end of the night would end, I'd just be like, I'm such a fucking
yeah, you're just like, I have nobody. You know what I mean? I fuck some chick that they hate. You know what I mean?
I was just sleeping on like all my clothes. I would never put them away. I would just sleep on them.
Dude, I slept on a beanbag. I rented half a room like right when I moved out of my parents' house. I lived with I literally rented like half a room, and I slept on a beanbag. And I remember one time
who was on the other half of the room?
A dude with a bed. My friend who had a more stable life than me had 20.
So you were just his dog, basically?
Basically, I slept on a beanbag. I couldn't afford my own bed yet. And then eventually I got my bed. But I do remember one time
beanbags are comfortable, by the way.
They are pretty comfortable.
I keep one next to my 2-year-old's bed. So when I put her to sleep, I'll lay on a beanbag, and I've slept in that thing.
Oh, no. It's a big love sack. It's actually not bad.
Yeah, they're sweet.
Yeah, if you're poor, you can sleep on a beanbag.
They're very chill.
Yeah. And I remember I tried to fuck a chick. Like I tried to bring her home, and she came in the room, and she saw the beanbag. She's like, nah. And in my head, I was like, you know what? I respect you.
Yeah, true. It made you be a better man.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that makes sense. I'll work on getting a bed.
Well, dude, what I did for years is I would do air mattress, but then I would get a foam topper.
Yep.
Put that on an air mattress, and you put the sheets on it. People can't tell it's an air mattress. I fooled my wife that way. She was on an air mattress with me for months. And I did tell her, but she was like, I let people lay in it first.
Yeah.
And then they're like, damn, this is comfortable. And I say, it's a fucking air mattress. And they go, what? That's the move. But there is something when you got to wake a chick up to turn on that nozzle. that does fuck them up.
It hurts.
That's why I respect my wife a lot, dude, because we did the air mattress for years, dude. And she just never complained. She was like, this is kind of comfortable. So I do admire that about her.
Yeah, I mean, I I love my wife so much because we started seeing each other and dating literally like a month after I started comedy. So she's been here since the whole beginning.
Yeah.
And we slept on couches together. Dude, I slept in her dorm room for like 6 months when she was going to community college, like when we were trying to get our own place. Like, yeah, she's been there in the trenches. So it's like,
she's holding it down.
Yeah. And it does make like the times where you do argue and stuff, it does, you know, you kind of look inward in yourself and you're like, all right, am I just being a dick? You know what I mean? And it is nice having that other person.
Yeah, and I will say 80% of the time when I do that, I usually am. Like, it's for real. It's unbearable.
Yeah.
And how often I'll be like, she's like, you were like being mean. I'm like, no, I'm fucking not. And I'll think about it. I'm like, I was being so fucking mean right now.
I'm like, fuck. Yeah. Yeah. Was there any point where like she said something to you where you're like, oh yeah, you definitely are making me a better person? Or like a time where like she believed in you more than you believed in yourself?
Yeah, always. Still to this day.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time. That her big thing that she pointed out that would drive me nuts was like, if things are going on that I don't really like, I just won't say anything. I'll just be like, and just go completely mute, and she'll be like, dude, like say something. And it's like so demasculating to be like, I was going on. I don't even care. Shut the fuck up. You don't even know what you're talking about. Leave me alone. And it was like, she really kind of like honed in on that over the years, and I think that's been kind of beneficial.
Yeah.
Torturous though. Why don't you just say something? I'm like, oh, fucking just, how about you shut the fuck up and leave me alone, all right?
There's man shit going on. Leave me fucking, you don't understand.
I'm handling this from another perspective. You need I'm just anxious. I'm just anxious. Like, I don't want to get this person upset. Be quiet, all right?
Yeah. Please, just let me do my thing. There's times where like I haven't believed myself where I'm just like, fucking like, you know how just comedy is, right?
Yeah.
Looking at other people's plates, whatever it is, right? And there's times where I just remember being like, I can't do this. Like, I want to fucking, I want to quit. Like, I got to stop. And then she's just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
You can get a job at Walmart. You can get a regular ass job. She was like, even if you got a job that paid well, you would hate it and be unhappy. And I would go crazy.
That's bae. That's absolute bae, yeah. That's how my wife always was, too. She was always like, bro, get after it. Like, there's never like, could you maybe do this or that? She was like, dude, just do your thing.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that.
They're so fucking dumb, though, right? No.
Well, dude, okay. Dude, well, here's the thing. Obviously I'm wearing an R ring. I'm not a double ring guy for no reason, but the
wait, what's the double ring?
R ring. This is R ring tracks your sleep. And again, I'm not financially affiliated with them. They track your sleep, like your calories spent, all that stuff, even your stress. So when you wake up in the morning, I think kind of Whoop bands do this too. They track your sleep and give you a readiness score based on your sleep. And I'm like rocking 85 today, not bragging out of 100. And my wife, I like got her one. She was like kind of like, I'm like, just wear it. Just, it's cool. I like it. It helps me see like, how, especially the stress. That was like a huge one. But I would like, and this is based on like, women being fucking dumb, but they're not dumb. They're just severely, they're at a loss like for 10 days out of the month. And it's like, I verified it on my phone. We'd wake up when she's on her period. Dude, her readiness score, she slept for 7.5 hours, 8 hours with me. Readiness score 50. And it's because their body temperatures elevate all night and they get flooded with, like, they're like disabled, dude. Dude, I swear to God, 50 would be if I was out all night, like, drinking.
Yeah.
We went to bed. We had like a nice night. It was easy. We ate dinner and just laid in bed and slept for 8 hours, and she had 50.
That's how stressful the period is?
Dude, it fucks them up.
That's crazy.
I see the numbers now. Now I'm going like, oh, I thought you were just being annoying. But no, dude, they're fucked.
Damn.
The period rocks them harder than they even care to admit.
Wow.
Dude, 50% readiness is... I got like woken up because our fucking like fire alarm was chirping this morning at 6. It was kind of annoying. Still at 85%, dude.
Yeah.
I went to bed late. I was like fucking around, 85%.
What takes you to 50 usually? Just getting shit-faced?
I have to be fucking like, I had a fever. I had a stomach virus the other day. I had 50.
Damn.
She woke up, dude, with I'm telling you, dude, the period fucks them up so hard.
That's crazy.
So they have a third of their month where they're like handicapped.
That's insane.
Like genuinely like borderline psychosis fucked up.
I mean, they should just get front of the line. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying, dude. They really shoot. Like, they need to get onto boats and shit, like, first.
Yeah.
Like, they're fucking, they swear to God. And I love them to death, but it's like, I don't know why we're just glossing over. It's a serious medical issue that we just gloss over. And we're like, get your fucking ass in the office. It's like, dude, they should not have to work on those days. Like,
absolutely.
I'm dead. I'm not fucking around or being silly. Like, I don't think women should have to do anything when they're on their periods.
There's no guy version of that, right? That takes you out 1 month out of the
Just cancer, brother.
Just
you get cancer and we die.
Just cancer, dog.
Yeah, there's nothing for guys. No, we don't. We're just super horny.
Yeah, but also that'll take you out for a week too. You know what I mean?
That just charges you up.
I don't know. I think like there's times where I'm super horny and it's like great, and then there's times where I'm super horny. I'm like, this is a terrible time to be horny.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. It's hard to focus on mental tasks.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But then again, the solution is you can just fucking rub one.
Yeah.
And you're right back. You're just bam. Zooming, dude.
Do you ever have to rub one twice where you're like, oh my God, this is a bad one?
I've done it. I've rubbed one twice, but more out of just kind of me being a pig, just being like, damn, that was great. Let me do that again. Then you do it again. You're like, I didn't need to do that. But
yeah, the first one feels great. The second one, you're like, I'm really kind of just hurting myself. You know what I mean? Like this, even your balls are like, come on, man, we just fucking worked.
Yeah. I mean, your body's for real. Like, what is this?
Mm-hmm.
Why, but I don't know. Especially like the worst for me, the thing that kills me is when I'm going like, I don't even feel relatively horny at all. Mm-hmm. And I go like, still want to come.
Yeah, no.
And that's when you really like just bother yourself to the point where you're like, I did it. And you're like, I just went to sleep. Why did I do that?
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, it's real tough with the fucking like.
Especially when you got a sleeping wife.
Oh, absolutely.
You're just going, I really like to masturbate.
She's like, why are you taking a shower at 3 a.m?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Like,
take a dump, babe. It's 2 a.m. You think you heard her coming, you like get out right away, and you're like, oh, she's sleeping?
Yeah.
I gotta go take a dump again. I'm sorry. I'm gonna finish what I was doing.
I've been lucky that she hasn't walked in on me yet.
I've been caught
Really?
red-handed. Oh, yeah. Like early on in our relationship.
Oh, man. I always fuck up because sometimes I'll leave the lube out, and she'll be like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, there's evidence. You know, she's like, come on, dog.
My thing is when in my experience, I feel like women always have vibrators.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just me, but like if they ever wanted to masturbate, there's never shame. Like, if I like caught her doing it, I'd be like, no.
No, I'm sexy.
I'm trying to hold it down that way now in my relationship where it's like, I'm like, go ahead. I dare you to catch me. Dude, I'm at 3 a.m. I'm in the moonlight. Yeah. I'm in the bathroom in the moonlight. I'm like, dude, I want her to see this, man. Maybe she'll like it. Or just be like, I feel like that's the solution is like you have to just like not worry in terms of like, because sex is always like contentious and like in relationships. Like, like men typically want more, than women. And it's like, yeah, when I have sex, you kind of you bother them. Sometimes I've heard of women kind of bother men, whatever. But traditionally it's men bother women and women are kind of like, I don't feel like doing it right now. So I think you just have to fat, man. Not like grossly like taunt them, but like just, find a quiet corner and just be like, I dare you.
Yeah.
Catch me. Be like,
come on, let's go.
I'm fapping. I have to do this.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Yeah. You gonna help?
Yeah, you can help.
What's going on? Yeah,
suck my nipples. Yeah, whatever you gotta
do. Throw some shit at me while I'm in the corner. Come on.
Just talk to me here.
Yeah, dude. Yell at me a little bit. I'm lucky. My wife, everything's changed recently. Like she's just can't keep her hands off me.
Yeah.
A lot of it's because of the book she's been reading, but she was also just not like a very like sexual person in the sense that like she didn't look at porn. She was never she was very sheltered and stuff.
Sure, yeah.
So now it's like, but she's a huge nerd and she loves literature. So now that she's reading all these like smut novels, dude, it's fucking turning it up.
They're also, that's like an addiction for women.
Yeah.
It's the thing they're searching out is the moment two people finally like they build it up to the point where it becomes like torturous, and then there's that point when like the two characters like finally embrace each other. And I was reading a book written by an actual psychologist too. This lady got like addicted to that.
Yeah,
she's like, I just read that over and I would read that part and I would just kind of like just build up to it, and it's like a serious addiction.
Yeah, it to me it reminds me of like the addiction guys get when they look at porn.
It's porn. It's literally porn.
It's just chicks' version of porn,
which I think is more wholesome. I actually like erotic literature.
Yeah, no, actually.
I will read it. I swear to God, I like it, and you don't get that icky. There's something about like taking in like that light through your eyes where if you're just reading and like imagining it in your head, it's like a cleaner thing.
It does feel less like you're going to hell.
Yeah, well, it's that. And you're also not like absorbing what in reality, I would have to guess, are like a pretty miserable setup where you have like a lady who probably had a really bad life. And
she's there for the money.
Having sex with 7 guys, and you're just kind of like, she can't be happy.
No. She's like, she's going home. She's like, my stomach hurts. Like, this is rough. Yeah.
But if you just read stories, it's clean from all the, like the broken lives that it takes to make real pornography. So
yeah, because I don't know if you know, but it's rough.
I could only imagine, dude.
Yeah. I know a few porn stars.
Do you really?
Yeah.
It's pretty bad?
No, one of them does OnlyFans. She's pretty stoked about it. Another
It's kind of different. And also the problem with OnlyFans, and this is like I get it. People pay me to do it. I do it. But it's like, if you want to have kids, it's like, dude, it's out there.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's one of those things where maybe guys will finally stop watching porn because, like, if there's a chance your mom has naked videos, you'll stay off the internet.
I mean, it depends on how much you like your mom. You know what I mean? Like, do you love your mom? Do you want to support? You know, no.
True. Well, it should be free if it's your mom.
Yeah, if it's your free, you shouldn't have to. Yeah.
MP4, but I think she hook you up with a link.
Who do you think's holding the camera?
Oh, there's a mom and a son that do that.
Oh no, there's a friend of there's a
That's illegal. How? What are you talking
He
about?
records his mom.
Is
he
he an
records
adult?
his mom. Yeah.
He's an adult?
Yeah. You can this. I love how we're about to explain the legality of incest. I think it's like you can't film yourself fucking any of your family, or you can't actually fuck any of your family members. That's illegal.
Yeah.
But I think you can film yourself fuck. You know what I mean? Like if you're the AD on a fucking porn set and your cousin's getting railed or whatever. Like I'm pretty sure that's.
Sorry, it's still sinking in. This guy films his mom having sex.
That's the guy.
By the way,
That's his mom?
That looks like a guy that would film his mom fucking.
Yeah, man. He films her only contents for. Hopefully, he hits a button and goes to another room. You don't have to stand there with cameras anymore.
Yeah, he's just like, cut. Hold on, I need a little bit more of a close up. Can I get a better lens?
What the fuck, man? Yeah, dude. I mean, I don't know. Look again. I'm not very like puritanical to be like. I just think that's like unnecessary, man.
I don't know. I think weird people are weird. You know.
Yeah, but it's like, dude, that's your mom. Like, don't film her having sex. You can easily outsource that. That's the thing.
Yeah, that is actually a really good point. He
They're
doesn't
doing
have
something.
to do that job.
Yeah, they're doing something. That's something they don't have to be doing.
Is it his real mom or is it his stepmom? I like how I'm trying to rationalize it.
That's his stepmom. I mean, that's his stepmom. This dude's a king. But
yeah. The narrative totally changes if it's his stepmom. If it's his stepmom, this man's a fucking god.
yeah, man. I mean, I mean, shout out to you too, bro. That's crazy, man. I'm not knocking. I mean, I am knocking the guy. Don't do that. Stop doing that. But it's also like.
I think it's his real mom.
Oh, dude. No. I think they said they deleted their OnlyFans after that. Urok. Is that his name? Urok? Maybe the girl's it. Yeah,
Wow.
she's back to God. She's turned back to Jesus. She went pretty far, she went down pretty far as you can go.
She has all that money now, though, right?
I mean,
there was that famous porn star way back in the day. Was it like the 60s or 70s? She did a bunch of porn videos, and then lied about her age the whole time. Yeah, so she was underage when she was doing it, and then I think when she turned 18, the cops or the FBI got an anonymous tip.
This is Mila Kunis, I think.
Was it? No. They got an anonymous tip, and then all the stuff got deleted. Everything, like people went to jail and stuff. But I think she still kept all the money. But the rumor is that she was the one that put in the anonymous tip.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that. I used to deliver beer to strip clubs, and there would be like pictures of ladies, like, do not let this lady in here. She is not of age. Because a lot of people do that in strip clubs. You can get like your cousin's ID and just sneak in there as an underage kid and just make a ton of fucking money.
Insane.
And you get guys in there like, man, I really like this girl. This girl's got it. Because I remember asking the guy, I was like, what the fuck? Why can't that lady be here? He's like, she's underage.
Yeah.
She's, they sneak around. I guess the clubs talk to each other. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
Because that's probably massive trouble.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, not probably, it is.
Yeah, that's
it's
the
like
craziest.
child sex trafficking unwittingly, which is like, yeah.
Yeah, that place is getting shut down. Yeah,
man, and it's just a fine line, dude. It's like, again, I'm very like, I'm not like, I don't get like worked up about like, obviously having kids in strip clubs are terrible, but it's not like, I see that. I don't have like a visceral reaction to like that guy's filming his mom having sex. It just hits me, and I'm like, I just almost process it abstractly, and I'm like, yeah, don't do that, man.
Yeah,
like,
that's a bit.
don't do that, man.
Yeah, I don't know if you have to process.
Although this older generation doesn't know anything about technology, so maybe her son was just like, Jesus, mom, just let me do it.
All of a sudden, she's like, why is this house all of a sudden way better?
It all started with the email. Like, how do I do this? He's like, Jesus, mom, get out of the way. She's just having like a devil's threesome. He's like, Mom, that's not the way you can't. That's not the way you film this.
Yeah, you got to get the lighting better.
But I think I just like glanced. I don't know if that's real, but it said like she was in like a religious cult growing up, and I think she like broke from it and just kind of went the complete opposite direction. Was like, oh, okay,
yeah,
let me just take my ass to church. Let me just chill out and fucking go to mass.
Those cult stuff, dog. Like people that survive cults, is like insane.
Yeah,
I have a friend who's a TikTok dancer, and he was telling me about because he would go to LA do all the influencer bullshit, but he met one of the people that like he knew one of the chicks that was in that TikTok cult. Have you heard about this?
No. What is
So
that?
it's on Netflix, a documentary, but it's literally it's a cult about all these TikTok influencers who were brought on by like this one manager, and like he would cut contact with their families, and they were all like signing their rights to him, and like they were basically just working for him, and it was just like a cult.
So we just got like kids.
Dancing for the devil.
Oh, really? You just told him like, I'll make you famous, basically.
Yeah, kind of. He like trapped him in plain sight is the way they're doing it, because like they were all just in this house stuck, just dancing, no contact with their families, no nothing. Wild, right?
That's so sad.
Even the cults are getting like fucking Gen Z. You know what I mean?
He'd take all their money too. He would.
He'd take all their
money.
Yeah.
So they were. What was like the cult? Was I guess he was like a charismatic guy, and he got them to be like, I'm gonna make you guys. Because the cults to me, it's like it's usually centered around like a crazy belief. But that just was people. It sounded like people just trying to get famous, and this guy being like, I got the keys to the kingdom. Was that the guy?
There's the guy.
What?
Yeah.
What?
See, this is the shit they were talking about. No.
Was his daughter in the cult too, or the
whole family? He also had like accountants and lawyers and stuff that would that were in the cult helping him, family members.
It sounds like this guy was just trying to come up. He just trapped them in there, made them dance. God, dude, that's terrible. Imagine just one day being like, "Can I go to Linda's house?" And you just end up in the fucker dad just like,
nope.
Dance. We're making TikToks.
We're making TikToks.
How'd the TikTok account do? Did it fucking crush?
Oh yeah,
they crush.
Yeah,
that's kind of tight. I mean, that's they got their thing. Now they get to do like a Netflix documentary, and still I'm sure they can still dance on TikToks.
well, they're all dead now.
No, they're not.
Yeah.
They died.
No, I'm just fucking.
I didn't think so. I'm getting less gullible, dude. I usually believe everything. I was like,
really?
No, I'm so gullible.
What's
dude.
like the most gullible thing you've ever fallen for?
When I was little, I was in a junkyard with my dad. It was like a scrap yard, and there like a cat came up to us, and he goes, "Careful, that's a guard cat." And I was like, "What?" I was like, "They have fucking guard cats," and he was like, "Yo, they're worse than the dogs, man." I was like, and I like for real believed till I was like 24 there was guard cats. So like I said it out loud to somebody, and they're like, "What?" And I was like, "You know what? I think I think my dad tricked me actually." I was like, "I don't think there's guard cats." Dude. He's like, "They'll just jump right out and pull your eyes out." And I was like walking around the scrap yard like, "Oh fuck, dude, that thing might fucking get me." He's like, "Just as long as you don't fuck around, you'll be fine." I was like, "Oh shit, dude." It made so much sense.
What's hilarious is to think, because that protected you from fucking around in the...
I wasn't going to fuck around in the scrap yard. He didn't have to scare me. I wasn't going to like steal copper. I was like fucking 10 years old. I wasn't going to like take a copper pipe and be like, sweet.
It's funny to think that he said it, probably totally forgot.
He was just fucking with me. Yeah. He just no clue.
Dude.
The signs on the side of the road with like the P and slash, he would tell me that's like no peeing on the side of the road. It's no parking. I might forever. I'd be like, "Oh yeah, you can't pee there." And people would be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" I'm like, "You can't pee right there. You got to pee up here. You can't pee outside at all." And I'm like, "Oh man."
That's I think the one thing I do. I can't wait to be like a dad is to do shit like that. Because like my dad's like a dad. Like he's a guy's guy. Busts balls, drinks beers. Used to play baseball. Like a fucking everyone that meets my dad's like, I fucking love this guy. Like he seems like more like my older brother.
Yeah.
And I remember I used to skateboard to middle school, and one time I had him drop me. I didn't want to skateboard the whole way, so I had him drop me off like a couple of blocks.
So you fake? Oh, gotcha.
So I faked skateboarding the rest of the way. But the way it worked is he ended up catching up to me at the light right in front of the school. So as I'm crossing the sidewalk, he sticks his head out and he screams, "Poser!" And I fucking eat it so hard in front of everybody. Like my fucking wheel hit a rock, I fucking fall in the middle of the sidewalk, scrape myself up, like the bell's ringing, everyone's going to school. I'm like getting to my dad's like losing his mind, loving it. And then I remember my friends were just like, "Who was that?" And I was just like, I couldn't.
Some guy.
Yeah, I was like, some stranger, man. These fucking people are evil.
That's so funny. It's funny you knew what a poser was.
Oh, yeah. No, my dad, yeah, he's with the shits.
How old are you?
I'm 35. My dad was 21 when he had me.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So he was
that
young.
makes sense. Yeah, I would like skateboarded. My dad was like, "What the fuck are you doing?" He had nothing. He was just like, "Okay, dude, you want to skate?" He had no. It was like they never entered his consciousness to even think about skateboarding. So I was like, "That's sick." Your dad knew what a poser was.
Oh no, he's pretty cool. He was actually really stoked that I did stand up. Like he was one of the only ones that was like, "Yeah, you should do it."
Yeah, my dad was kind of cool about it the whole time too. He was always like, "Yeah, what the fuck else are you gonna do?" He's like, "Just do it. Like, just keep doing it. Like, what the fuck else?"
My mom wanted me to cut hair.
Really?
Yeah, she was like, "Everyone needs a haircut."
My mom wanted me to be a teacher, man.
What were you gonna teach?
Nothing. I wasn't gonna be a teacher, but she was just like I do fantasize about taking on some dangerous minds every now and again, but like I would love to hold court like a dangerous. But no, I couldn't deal with the administration. I've thought about it, but I'm like, but she would always be like, "Come on, you could be a really nice teacher."
Yeah, I think you'd be a fun fucking like English teacher.
I get kicked out of school. There's no. I would.
History
get
would be great.
I have thought about history, English, all that stuff. Maybe I'll do it. Maybe when I retire, it'll be a retirement thing. I'll just become a teacher.
My wife's my mother-in-law is a teacher, and she's one of my favorite people. She said like she retired from it, so like by the end of it, she was like, these fucking kids. Like she was so funny with it. I have a mass shooting joke about shooting up a school, and one of the tags that I have, which is the hardest tag, she was the one that gave it to me.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, because I do a joke about I'm just like the whole joke's about like
That's so funny. She's like, it'd be really funny.
Well, yeah, no, because I told her the joke, and it was like the joke about like if it sucks to be like a teacher and going to school the day after school shooting because like what happens if like your favorite student dies or like none of the kids you hated got killed. Yeah, is like the big tag, and then she goes, she's like, yeah, I even made the kid I don't like guard the door and everything, and I was like, that's so funny.
That's really funny
because it's also like an insight that only a teacher would kind of know.
Yeah,
because she's got to be in that situation, like she has to go through the training and all that stuff.
It's a hard job, man.
Yeah,
and I heard now too with like the administration and everything, like it's just you don't even have room to like. Do you think as a teacher you're not getting paid that much for what you're doing, and then it's like. You at least think you get that fulfillment of like being able to create your own curriculum within like guidelines. Now it's just like, dude, read this, say this, get them in, get them out. It's like that kind of sucks.
Yeah, and it also, I think the parenting's changed too. Where like when I was a kid, if I got in trouble, my mom would walk in and look at the teacher and be like, "What did he do wrong?" Yeah. And now people are like, "Why? What are you doing wrong? My kid's perfect." And it's like, ugh.
Yeah, my dad offered to come into my classroom and beat my ass in front of the whole class, and the teacher was like, "No, dude." Like, we're not going to do this. He would go to PTA meetings and be like, this kid is a liar. I don't believe anything he says. Anything you tell me, I believe. Like, we got to get this kid right. And I'd just be like, what the fuck, man?
Oh, yeah, my mom.
It was 1,000% being like, I know he's a fucking liar. He's bullshitting me all the time. I don't believe anything he says. I will beat his ass. If you want me to, I'll just come right up here and kick his ass. And I was like, yeah, all right.
My mom would show up to elementary school and middle school. She'd just pop in and just watch.
Whoa.
Like, just be like in the classroom, just hanging out.
Really?
And like the teachers would no teacher would be like, no, because they were like terrified of her. But she would just come and watch and make sure I wasn't fucking off, right? And then I remember she tried to do it in high school, and they were like, no.
You can't do that.
You can't do that. And they're like, she was like, why not? She was like, he's a fucking teenager. We can't just have parents hanging out in classrooms making sure he doesn't fuck up. And then she was like, she got like upset at the school. It was so
How
funny.
long was she chill in the school for when you were younger?
Oh, she'd stay the whole day.
What, for how many days a week?
Like she'd come maybe one day, one week out of the month.
Popping up
though?
Oh,
she'd just show up.
Dude, that'd be terrible. What did kids in class say? Like, what the fuck?
They'd be like, "What the fuck?" Like they'd make fun of me. They're like, "What's your mom here?" I'm like, I don't know. Like I'd have to lie.
She's just helping out.
Yeah, she's TA.
I have a speech impediment. I need her here. Yeah,
I'm retarded. All right.
Well, they have that now. There are kids in classes where like they'll have, at least in like the early childhood stuff, there'll be like a point person.
Of course, yeah.
So if you're, and it's like, it's not like full on like Down syndrome or anything. Yeah. It's like you'll see kids and like, no, he needs like a wing lady just on his ass at all times.
Absolutely.
So your mom was kind of ahead of the curve.
What if I was just, an idiot? Yeah, I just didn't know.
Yeah, I think if you're like, don't listen, if you're like a little kid and you're like a little bit bad, they hire you like a fucking personal.
Disagree with that. I think that's cool.
I could have used a team. Yeah. I could have used the fucking team, dude. I was so bad in school.
What was like the worst thing you did?
Well, I threw stuff the whole time. I didn't listen to anything. I used to crawl around on the floor. So like they would like, the teacher would turn their back and I would like, my big thing when I was little, I figured out early on, like there's so many kids in this classroom. There's no way she like notices who's there or not there. So when she would like be doing something at her desk, I would like, when she didn't look, I would lay down I would just get down and lay on the floor and see how long I could lay on the floor before she noticed, but she wouldn't. And then I would crawl around, it was the most fun thing to possibly do in school. I'd covertly crawl around and like hit my cousin's ankle and like crawl back to my seat and see how far I can make it. So it entered this whole other game of school where I could just play this thing where I could just kind of like move around.
That's fucking.
And then if I got bored of that, I would throw shit. I would just stand up and just fucking wing stuff. As soon as she turned her back, dude, for real, like 1st to 8th grade, I went to school with my cousin came in 2nd grade. But like, it was like a class of only 24 people. So like for 8 years, all I did was throw. Like we would just, not 1st grade, I wouldn't throw stuff. That was more like 4th. When you started, like as soon as she would hit the chalkboard, you'd hear like, ding, 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 because everyone would be like, boom, 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 boom. So just that. And then one time, I didn't do it. I didn't do this, but like my one friend filled the teacher's water bottle up in the toilet and gave it back to her. So, and then we would throw away the teacher's manuals. So we'd be like, yo, good. I would like kind of egg my friend on. I'd be like, go get the social studies teacher's manual, throw it in the fucking trash. Like, because they kept a record. If you were bad, they would like, the lady would staple like index cards together. She would like write down what you did at the end of the PTA meeting. She would do it. So my friend, he was like, I'm fucked. But I was like, go steal the record we have. So he took the record and threw it in the trash. And then once that worked, I was like, yo, go take her social studies book. So he would take it. And like she would go to do lessons and she'd be like, I can't find my book. And it would just like hold the class up. It was really sick.
Dude, you were out there fucking just sabotaging the whole administration. I love it.
I was covert though. I was very kind of like quiet. I used to get away with a lot of stuff because I would like kind of organize stuff or just kind of be like, yo, go do that. I was very sneaky. I didn't get caught really ever.
I love that. That's good. Man, you were a menace.
I was a very bad kid. When I was sweet. If the teacher, it was nice.
Yeah.
I'd never did. I would be an angel. I would help her as soon as if I detected some sort of friction, I'd be like, all right, we're enemies. I would just be enemies. Be like, all right, I'm going to fucking try to ruin your day every day.
Yeah. I will be the kid you remember 10 years from now.
I had older brothers that were bad in school, so they would like single me out and be like, or me and my cousin, we had like the same age of brothers. And they'd be like, you too. I already had your brothers. I don't want to hear anything from you guys. And from that day on, I'd be like, all right, then it's on.
Yeah, that's fucking
beef. It's beef.
Yeah, that fucking sucks. Because it's also like when a family's in a school and then you're like, I had your brothers too. It's like, come on, dog. It's the Hatfield and McCoys. You're just bringing out old shit.
Yep, exactly. And then it would be funny though, because then in the 7th grade classroom, there's like they had like those radiator heating.
Yeah.
So there'd be this big like I don't know, it was not granite, but it was like this slate windowsill. And like, dude, for real, my cousin carved his name. Like, it was like a foot by a foot. It was like Steve McCusker was here. So I was like, they do kind of have a point, dude. Yeah. I remember seeing that and being like, that was just obnoxious. Oh, and my one friend was good at computers, so he's like, dude, there's like the Microsoft Windows, whatever. He was like, dude, he's like, he like was able to get into MS-DOS. Yeah. He's like, if you type this and hit enter, it deletes the whole thing. So I was just like, hit enter and just fucking wiped this whole computer. They couldn't turn it back on. It was nonstop sabotage the whole time. I hated school.
Yeah.
I fucking hated it so much my whole life.
I think I was just bored.
I was so bored.
I think, because I remember I tested high with a bunch of other stuff. And then by 5th, 6th grade, I was like, this isn't for me. I'm not into this.
Like, I hated it, dude.
Yeah.
It just sucked. I would sit there and my legs would start to hurt after so many, and I would just be like, this is fucking torturous.
Yeah. It gets
Didn't
to
care.
a point where you're just kind of like, yeah, I think I'm just going through the motions.
Dude, I don't know why school, in my opinion, should be first thing in the morning, it's just phys ed.
Yeah.
As soon as you get there, you should have every kid should like work themselves tired. And then it should be like, obviously you got to do like the math, all that stuff. Get them get the education in there, but they can do it so much better.
Oh, absolutely they can.
Dude, the fact that they sit you down like that and have you like stare, it's fucking like crazy.
It's also so disrespectful.
It's crazy, yeah. It's prison. It's for real. They treat you like a prisoner.
Oh,
when they can be like, you can be a co-creator, you can have like a big project that you have some saying. Like, hey, you have to do these like core things like math, science, blah, blah, blah. But they can still make that fun in a way.
Absolutely.
Fucking lecture. Dude, the idea of lecturing about American or like social studies to a fucking 10-year-old is so dumb. It's the dumbest idea.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
And also, you get older and you're like, oh, there's so much shit they didn't tell me.
I know.
Not let's say it feels like propaganda, but it's like, it feels like you're telling me the things you just want me to know, right? And then you go up, then you're like, oh, I could just learn about things on my own, right? And some people don't want to by the time they get out of high school and stuff.
Exactly. They should find you and be like, all right, here, like, they should really give people more of a say in their kind of what they're interested in. And at least amp that up a little bit.
Absolutely.
Just a little bit. Because there's some people who are like, I don't give a fuck. And you're like, all right.
Yeah, and you're like, well, I can't change
I'm gonna tenderize you for the cubicle and just fucking
100,
toss your ass in there.
Some people just need those vocational jobs.
Yeah, man. That's dude. If I didn't do comedy, it was just construction.
Oh yeah,
I suck at. I'm so bad at construction.
Really?
Oh my god, I can't make straight lines out of anything. I can't like measure shit. I was doomed.
Oh, you'd have been a great supervisor then.
I didn't know how to do anything, so I could have been like a project manager, I guess. But
you're like, good job.
Paint. I was a good painter. House
okay.
painting. I was good. I can do that.
Painting's fun. Painting's like not easy, but it's like I'm good at dumb manual labor tasks. Like if it's repetitive, you tell me what to do. I'm like, yeah, I could do this, and then I get lost. But that's when I would daydream and write jokes. Like I used to work at Starbucks, and that was a fun job before it got real shitty.
Well, how did it get real shitty?
Well, now the way I look at everything, I'm like, I could never do that. Which is like call-in orders, like the mobile shit,
mobile
all that stuff. Like that's crazy to me.
Who do you serve? Who are you loyal to? The mobile customer or the person in the flesh?
That's the thing. It's like like the way everything comes in. It's like if a bunch of people start ordering online, like there's usually like a designated mobile person, but even then that can get crazy.
Yeah.
And then Starbucks is all about like streamlining it, making it efficient with the least amount of people. Right, so there was like every shift you'd work, it was never fully staffed. Like you were always kind of catching up. You were always kind of fucked.
It was so annoying, dude.
The worst. When I worked there, I was the best person on bar, the fastest. I was the messiest.
Yeah, dude, let it rip. What the fuck?
People are like, you're very messy. I'm like, motherfucker, I got all these drinks out. Like,
yeah, we can wipe this with a towel 5 minutes later. Shut the fuck up. My cousin had me working in his pizza shop, and it's the same thing. It was just me by myself in the morning. So I would cook people's orders, and then I would go to the cash register, which you're not supposed to, you're not supposed to go back and forth. It's out of business now. But like, I would cook their order, do the cash register, and then if there was a delivery, I would cook it, close up the shop, drive the delivery. I'm like, hire 2 more people, you cheap motherfucker. And he'd be like, you don't need it. I'm like, dude, I'm
crazy.
Closing the whole shop.
Yeah,
I can't get over it. It was the most stressful thing ever.
It's insane how stressful it is. All right, I got some few questions from the lady. All right, what are some of your biggest irrational fears?
Oh man. So I had currently I don't know. Currently I don't really have. I'm trying to think of anything. I have like a fear sometimes. So I'll just say this. So traditionally I had this huge fear. I didn't know what this was, but it was health anxiety. So I thought I was gonna have a heart attack all the time.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, when I was young, I was like, I'm gonna have a heart. First, I thought I was going crazy. That's when I first started having panic attacks. I'm like, okay, I'm schizophrenic. I didn't know what it was, so I'm like, okay, I'm not schizophrenic. And then I got over the panic attacks, and then like it just manifested as like my heart would skip a beat, and I'm like, dude, I'm definitely having a heart attack. And then I got that under control, and then I started getting these like really crazy brain zaps. I'm like, dude, I definitely have a fucking tumor. So I have this floating thing that's like moved around my body and has caused weird symptoms that I've gotten over all of them. But it's like my biggest irrational fear. I don't know. I think my fears are pretty rational, dude. I think it's like, I think like a car's gonna come hit me. I don't worry about nuclear war. I don't care about that.
Yeah.
I don't worry. I'm not like, nobody loves me. Everyone's gonna leave me. That's like a big one usually. Dude, I don't know, honestly.
Interesting.
I'll keep thinking about it. But okay. I'm trying to think. Oh, yeah, there you go. Okay. I just assume people are downstairs anytime I go downstairs. Like, there's a man in my garage.
Yeah,
no. I do, like, for real, I will, like, look around. Like, if I go into a house, I'll, like, check every room pretty much to make sure, like, nobody's in there.
I mean, absolutely. I get it. Have you heard of frogging?
No.
Oh, I'm about to fuck your day up.
What's frogging?
Dude, there's a documentary. I think it's on, I think you Google frogging. I think it's on, like, A&E or whatever, but it's literally stories about people who have snuck into houses and living in the crawl spaces, and people don't know they live there.
What?
So there was like a story about like a bunch of sorority girls were all like watching a movie, and then they hear someone's phone go off, and then they realize they're all in the living room together, and they don't have, like, all of them have their phones.
Yeah.
So then they all start going and looking around, and they realize in like one of the crawl spaces there, it goes behind, and there's a whole room, and like a guy's got like a full setup. Is it called frogging?
Yeah. PHRO.
Yeah, and then there was like another one where like a guy was just living in a secret room that was in the middle of the house, and then he had to go under the crawl space. Also, like wild shit. Yeah,
I would kill a frogger. That's the thing. I'm like, I walk downstairs every night looking for not so much a frogger, but like an intruder. And every time I shut my garage door, I have to like lock the garage door, but I always check the garage and kind of look around, but it's dark, and then I'm like, huh, and I shut it real quick. I just get like scared and lock it. I'm like, dude, if someone comes in here, I'm gonna fucking kill them. So yeah, the intruders are a big irrational fear I have. Okay. I just assume there's one every time I enter my house.
So do you think it's just one guy or like a team of dudes?
One
just
dude?
Okay.
Me, mano y mano, dude.
Is he decked out in full like robbery gear, or is it just like?
Nah, it's a street straggler. Just a never do good. Never do well, yeah.
All right. What is a behavior you have that you know you do but is still toxic?
If somebody, just my wife, basically, if I detect she's like upset at all, I'll completely be like, "What's the problem?"
Yeah.
Like, just leave me alone. I'm like, no, for real, what's going on? Or I'll be like, what's the matter? I won't stop bothering until she like tells me what's going on. It's bad.
Oh.
She'll spaz. She'll eventually spaz, and I'll be like, thank you. That's all I need. Yeah. So yeah, it's that for sure. If she's like upset, I freak out. And I have to like, I'm like, be good now.
Yeah.
Be cool now. And if you're upset, I can't have that. You need to get yourself back to a baseline, and
Yeah. Because you don't want the resentment to build up.
Yeah, well, it's for me. I for some reason about like, and it's specifically more like women. If I'm like with somebody and they're like their mood's off, it like throws me off. So I'm kind of like, what the fuck? What's wrong with them? And I just go into like a state of like panic. So I'm like, hey, could you process that and be good now? Like, I can't. I don't know why. Now I've gotten better with it.
Yeah.
If she's upset, I'm good now. I have to like walk myself through it and be like, it's not my problem. This is her problem. In 40 minutes, she'll be fine. She doesn't need any help from me, and I'll like just have to be like, well, I'll see you later.
Yeah,
it's been a big thing for me.
It's
learning how to do that and being like, you'll be fine. And kind of like,
I remember like sometimes my wife will get upset at work stuff, and then I'll be like, I always feel like I have to solve it. And then one time she just told me, she's like, man, just let me be upset. And I was like, oh yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah.
The problem is the time you go, well, sucks for you. I'm gonna go over here. They fucking freak out. So it's a tough one.
Yeah.
So I've tried it before. I'm like, well, it's like pat her head, like let me know if there's anything I can do, and just like walk away. So yeah, they want you to like be upset with them. That's kind of that's what I found.
Yeah.
You can't if you're like Cheerio, they're kind of like, what the fuck.
Yeah, it is feel weird when you had like a great set. You come home and like work sucked, and you're like, yeah.
You're like, hold on, let me just tell you this new thing I did, dude. It's so fucking funny.
Yeah, dude. For her too, it sucks. She's talking about like, she used to work in rehab, so it's like she'd have real rough days, and I'm like, yeah, but this dick joke I told fucking crushed.
I know. I'm trying to think of anything else, but yeah, really, it would be. I mean, also too, I can completely mentally just shut down and just be Iceman, totally cold.
Oh,
that's a bad one I can do. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm like, whatever. And then that's a bad thing I do too.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, whatever.
Everyone just can tell you're just off, and then like
off, dude. Yeah. I can turn it all off to the point where it's like kind of fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I try not to do that. And I also, if she's upset, I try to just be like, not just because I would still get pissed and be like, your problem. And it's like, so now I just kind of go like, all right, like, let me know if I can help. But I don't get involved. That's the thing too. I had to have like faith in her now, where I'm like, you can resolve this. You don't need me to intervene at all.
Yeah.
So that's a big one.
Yeah, man, that's cool.
I'm not gonna tell you any like the real truly toxic stuff I do, but
you're like, you're like Rainy Street Killer. This guy. What are some weird things you do to cope with stress?
I just ignore it, honestly. I just like ignore it till my eyes water, and then I'm just kind of like, so I don't know, dude. I mean,
I think that explains the moving thing in your body.
Yeah, true. Honestly, dude, the biggest thing that I'll do is like just trying to slow my breathing down. So if I'm like stressed, I'll try to like at least start like forcing myself to breathe like a not stressed person, and that kind of works a lot of the times. And then like I have like more of a spiritual bent, so I'll just pray. It helps if I can start like praying, breathing, and praying. Two big things. Yeah.
Are you very religious, or are you just very spiritual?
I'm not very religious because I don't really subscribe to like any. I have a hard time like getting fully into the sauce of any one thing. But I'm a pretty spiritual person. I try to talk to God.
Yeah,
try my best. When things are bad, I'm like, dude, come on, dude, please.
Fucking come on, man. I haven't picked up the phone in a little bit, but
please make it chill, dude. But no, I try to at least practice those principles of like, being grateful and trying to like remind myself or at least orient my day. If I wake up and I'm just like, blah, 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 I try to like stop for a second and be like, toss some prayers up, bro. Even if just like, just a little like, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for waking my fucking miserable ass up again, dude.
Yeah. Thank you for this life. Yeah. I was raised by my aunt who was like very Christian, and I have like family members that are Catholic and stuff, and my best friend was like Mormon. So I got to see a lot of different stuff, but I think I'm kind of the same way, where it's like it's just like belief in like, I don't know if it's like God or whatever, but it's just belief in like something, right? Where you're just like, even if it's just yourself or having faith or just like the universe or whatever it is. I think that's also important.
Yeah, and I also, like I said, I have a hard time believing anyone who's like, yeah, we have the whole God thing. We have it kind of comprehended, figured out.
Yeah.
Do everything like this. And it's like, I appreciate all. I'm not saying that. Like, I genuinely appreciate those things as like vehicles for people attaining some like higher level of peace or like inner transformation, it's like that's great. But I just like I've tried to get into them.
Yeah.
And there's always like a little point where I'm kind of like, why do I have to do that?
Yeah.
What the fuck is the point of that thing? You know, which maybe I would need some like overbearing spiritual master to be like, shave your fucking head and blah, 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 don't eat fish on Tuesday. But I do try to keep that kind of thing. What I'm trying to figure out now is how I'm gonna kind of communicate that stuff to my kids. Like my parents brought me into like the Roman Catholic church. And I did that. And I'm like glad I grew up with that in my life, but I'm like I just don't see the need to like go there specifically.
Like not like force it on them, yeah.
Yeah, my wife's like we have to start going to church. I'm like I agree, but she wants to bring me into like predominantly black church, which I don't mind going to. But then I feel like I kind of harsh the vibe.
Nah, man. Listen, black church is the only times I ever believe in Jesus.
Black church is fucking rules,
dude. Black church. I remember I used to go to like white churches and stuff, and then I remember my mom took me to a black church, and I was like, "Yo, this is real."
It rules, but the problem is like I've been to one with
and there's
her.
A lot of black people, right? No, I'm just kidding.
I will say, black church is the only place I showed up too late and was somehow early. That was I was like, what the hell? I've hit a wrinkle in time. No, I like it. I don't care. I just feel like I'm harsh in the vibe, and I've been to like a black church that hasn't like. I feel uncomfortable doing that in a black church, and it's also like. I've been to one before that was more of a startup. You know what I'm saying? Like I got in there, it was like just 12 of us in there, and I'm like, dude, this is not lit. Like this is kind of beat. So yeah, it's like I'm just telling her like, look, just find a place you like to go to, and I'll go. I'm not gonna like, whatever you want to, because I would like my wife needs that. I'm like I'll just go. I'll deal. I'll just keep pushing it all down. Just send me where I'll just go to if I have to go to fucking. And it's for me, it's just I grew up Catholic, so like you're supposed to be quiet and just like stand like a Roman. You're supposed to stand like a Roman soldier the whole time. And I see people like enjoying themselves, like just
like this isn't God.
Like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
But I think it's nice. We went to one in Philly that's like a blend. It was a Catholic church, but they had the big band and all that stuff. It was like really sick. So yeah, I got to figure that out. I just got to tell her like just pick a place.
Yeah. So
a couple times I have fun there, but it's like. Yeah, I always just felt weird, like I was like an interloper almost.
You're like, I'm sorry for being here.
Because some of the depending on the place, some of the sermons get like almost like not political, but
they're
like,
staring at you the whole time.
I can see it. Well, I'm kind of like, dude, I think there's more. You're like they'll like dance around something. I'm like, bro, just say it, man. Whatever the fuck you gotta say, just fucking. Because my cousin, my friend, he lives directly next door to a black church, and they're like, he hears the sermon, and it's very like white devilish. Yeah. And I've never had that experience the ones I've went to, but like I always wonder, like, dude, don't hold back, man. Like, do your thing. If you got to rip, man. If you got to tear down the white man, do it. Just for me, it's just like there's just a lot going on. Yeah. I'm very sensitive to stuff anyway, of like where I'm at, and for me, it's just like a pretty. It takes a lot for me. And then nice people say, like, well, that's how black people feel all the time. I'm like, okay, well, okay.
Be nice to me.
I don't want to have to do that too.
You walk into the church, the guy looks at you, the pastor just switches the book, and you're just like, oh, that's not a good sign.
It's always been chill. Every time, there's never been like, I've never had like a disrespectful thing. It's just like, I don't know, it's whatever.
All right. Oh, you're also a very talented musician.
I'm all right. I can play guitar.
Yeah, someone was telling me that you're like, you pick up an instrument, you're pretty much like pretty good on it.
I can figure them out. If I can play long enough, I was studying piano for a while, but I fell off. But I have a musical inclination. I can pick stuff up kind of fast.
Dude, that's fucking sick.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. That's my favorite thing in the world, honestly.
All right, last question. I guess, what's your philosophy on life?
It's TBD right now. I'm still figuring it out. I really am. I currently, so I got on a big. So during COVID, I got on a big like spiritual kick in terms of like, the whole thing of like trying to like, reduce ego and all that stuff. I still believe in that, but I was going like full gung ho with, I was like, maybe the purpose of life is to like achieve some level of like nirvana or, whatever out of like every religious tradition has some final level of like, if you do this, you'll reach blah, blah, blah. So I think it's that, but I think it's as easy for me as like, I think that part's important of like learning how to kind of like, not let your ego dominate your life and send you on like dummy missions that just always end up with like crashing and burning, and you're just like, fuck. So I really do think it's like using your creative powers to like just make the whole experience of life better. So the big thing I think about a lot is like we escaped from the wild. Like we were like eating each other, and it was terrible. We were animals, and we somehow organized society. And it's like and again, this isn't really a life philosophy, but it's like it's just everyone hates society. They're like, it's fucking bullshit. Society sucks. Society's crumbling. Blah 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 blah. And it's if like just to stop and think like, dude, okay, it's imperfect, but like the other option is the wild, and it's so fucked. Anything you can think about society being bad, it's like, dude, if you go to the wild, it's 40 times worse.
Yeah.
Like, well, I could do whatever I want. You're gonna get eaten, dude.
Yeah.
You're gonna get eaten. Things are just gonna come in here. They're just gonna fuck you. It's like there's no rules. So it's like I think you should try to, and this is just me, like society is a very important thing. I think it's like genuinely like a very sacred thing. It's like what it's like saving us from is you can't even think about it. It's unthinkable. It's like just stay in the jungle for 3 days. It's horrifying. So it's like I think you should try to like at least engage, reduce your ego so you can offer something useful to society, and then you die.
That's so beautiful.
Thank you, man.
That was fucking amazing, dude.
Thank you.
This is a great, man, this is such a fun fucking podcast.
Thank you,
This is
dude.
so great, dude.
You've been fantastic, man. For
Dude,
real.
thank
You're
you.
awesome.
I'm such a big, anything you want to plug before you get out of here?
Yeah, just mattmccusker.com/dates for stand-up, and, always Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast. So,
Dude, thank you so much for coming. This was an absolute
thank you,
blast.
brother.
You're the fucking man.
You're the man.
That was so much fun.
That was a blast, bro.